The owner of the logistics company tasked with delivering medicines in the Momase region has admitted to paying more than 100,000 kina in bribes to a senior health department staff in 2017.
Oh, 20,000, 30,000.
Did you pay?
I paid.
You paid?
Yes.
How did you pay?
Delivering to the locations you want me to deliver.
Where were these particular locations?
In the office, in the some at the department stores.
Harupa Peke told the Public Accounts Committee that he paid various cash bribes of between 20,000 kina and 30,000 kina to Paul Dopsie, who is in charge of the health department's tender evaluation team. The bribes were made at various times when invoices were due for payments.
I realized that I was not paid in time by the health department because I was renting warehouses monthly. I was paying fortnightly. And I need, as soon as I submit invoices, I need to be paid quickly. So,
Mr. Peke's admission came during a barrage of questions by the Deputy Chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Gary Jufa.
Which is not...
Mr. Peke, yes. I want you to focus on the questions I asked you. Okay. You wrote a letter, a complaint letter, making a serious allegation against a public servant working for the National Department of Health, a public servant who is in charge of the tenders committee, now the technical evaluation committee, sorry. What brought you to write that letter?
Harupa Peke had laid a complaint after payments for his company's services went unpaid for several months. The letter of complaint was hand-delivered to the Health Secretary's office. Weeks later, the Assistant Secretary responsible for enforcement in the Finance Department, Momase, advised him that Paul Dopsie would be arrested over the bribery allegation. Mr. Peke was then asked if he was willing to go through with it. Mr. Peke later wrote to the Health Secretary and withdrew the complaint.
You must be concerned.
How did he come to have this information that your life was being threatened?
That I don't know. So I have to decide whether to withdraw it or let it go, because it's in my hands. If I withdraw, then nothing is going to happen.
During the investigation this morning, the committee tried to establish if Mr. Peke had felt threatened into withdrawing the bribery complaint.
So exactly what Momase told you, like just say you were there at this moment and Momase was speaking to you. Can you recall what he said to you? Can you just give us an example of what he said to you?
More witnesses are being called to give evidence, including Mr. Peke's accounts clerk, Basil Roma, who was present during one of the bribe payments.
Every time you put in an invoice, you have to pay to get yourself paid.
Meanwhile, the NEC secretary was asked to give transcripts on the NEC decision to award the contract to Borneo Pacific Pharmaceutical Limited.
He was surprised that Borneo was awarded the contract. So there has to be compelling reasons why 23 million kina deer was accorded the approval in Borneo.
Documents requested by the committee from the Health Secretary and LD Logistics were also submitted today. The inquiry was adjourned to next week, Monday. Adelaide Siraks Kari, National, MTV News.
Mr. Peke, you ran a business.